your life for his. Those were Dante Moretti's exact words 3 days ago when I walked into his world and begged the most dangerous man in the city to save my brother. I thought I understood what I was agreeing to. I was wrong. The guards bring me to him at midnight. I've been counting hours in my locked room. Silk sheets, crystal chandeliers, windows that won't open. A gilded cage is still a cage, no matter how expensive the bars. Dante stands by floor-to-ceiling windows in his private study, shirt half unbuttoned, revealing dark tattoos that curl across his chest like secrets. His knuckles are split, blood still wet. He doesn't turn around. Do you know where I've been tonight, Arya? His voice sends electricity down my spine, not entirely from fear, and that terrifies me more than anything. No, I manage. Handling a problem. He finally faces me, and God, he's devastating. Sharp jawline, dark eyes that miss nothing, lips curved into something too cruel to be called a smile. Someone thought they could use your brother as leverage, thought they could take what's mine. My heart lurches. Marco, is he... He's fine. I made sure of that. He holds up his bloodied hand, examining it almost casually. But the man who threatened him won't be threatening anyone again. I should be horrified, should run from the violence implied in those split knuckles. But all I can think is, he protected Marco. He kept his word. Why did you call me here? I ask, steadier than I feel. Dante moves closer, slow, deliberate, predatory. Because I wanted to remind you of something. You're here because I allow it. Your brother is alive because I will it. Everything you have exists at my discretion. Anger flares hot in my chest. You mean I'm here because we made a deal, my life for his. That was the agreement. A deal implies equality. Another step closer. I can smell him now, expensive cologne mixed with smoke and danger. There is no equality between us, Arya. I own you. You own nothing. The words leave my mouth before I can stop them. You can lock me in a room, control every aspect of my day, but you don't own me. You never will. Something flickers across his face. Surprise or intrigue. He circles behind me slowly, and I force myself to stand still, to not give him the satisfaction of my fear. His breath ghosts across the back of my neck. You're braver than I expected, he murmurs. Or more foolish. I haven't decided which yet. I turn to face him, refusing to be prey. We're inches apart now. Does it matter? You're going to do what you want regardless. His jaw tightens. For a long moment, we're locked in a silent battle of wills. The firelight flickers across his features, painting him in gold and shadow. Then he moves, fast, one hand gripping my chin. Not hard enough to hurt, but firm enough to make his point. He forces my face up, leaning down until his lips are a breath from mine. You think you're afraid of me now? He whispers, his voice a dark promise. You think you understand what I am, what I'm capable of? You have no idea, Arya. No fucking idea. My heart races so hard I'm sure he can feel it, but I don't look away. Instead, I meet his gaze and let the words fall like a match in a room full of gasoline. Then stop talking and show me. The air between us ignites. His eyes darken, pupils dilating until there's almost no color left. His grip tightens fractionally, and I see the war playing out across his face. Control versus chaos. For 3 heartbeats, neither of us moves. Then he releases me abruptly, stepping back as I've burned him. He turns away, running a hand through his hair. Get out, he says, voice rough. Before I do something we'll both regret. I don't move. Something has shifted between us. Something dangerous. I said, get out, Arya. This time I listen. But as I reach the door, his voice stops me. Arya. I pause, glancing back. He's still facing the window, but his reflection is visible. Dark eyes fixed on mine with intensity that steals my breath. You should be afraid of me, he says quietly. But not for the reasons you think. Dante vanishes. I hear him through walls, see glimpses through windows, but he doesn't summon me. Doesn't acknowledge last night happened. Meals arrive on schedule, elaborate dishes I barely touch. My stomach twists with questions that taunt me endlessly. Did it mean nothing to him? By evening, fury replaces confusion. How dare he kiss me like that, almost, and then disappear? That's when I hear the guards outside my door. Movement from the Rossi family. They've been asking questions. About a girl. My blood runs cold. I press closer to the door. Moretti's girl? How did they find out? Someone talked. The boss is tearing the organization apart, trying to find the leak. If the Rossis know she's here, she's a target. And if they get to her, they get leverage over Moretti. The door opens without warning. Dante stands there, flanked by guards. He's dressed in all black, face carved from ice. Every trace of the man who almost kissed me, erased. I heard the guards, I say before he can speak. The Rossi family knows I'm here. Yes. No emotion. Just cold confirmation. And you're just going to keep me locked up? Use me as bait? His jaw tightens. You're confined to this wing until the situation is resolved. Additional security has been assigned. So I'm a prisoner and bait now. You're an asset that needs protecting, he says flatly. If the Rossis get their hands on you, then they have leverage over you. That's what this is really about. Not my safety, yours. Something flickers in his eyes. Believe what you want, but you'll stay in this room. You'll follow every order, and you'll stop taking risks like wandering through my house at night. He knows. Last night was a mistake, I say, sharp enough to cut. Message received. His hands flex at his sides. Last night was a mistake. One I won't repeat. The words hurt more than they should. Good, I lie, because I wouldn't want you to anyway. We stare at each other. Him by the door, me by the window. 10 feet that feels like miles. He turns to leave, hand on the handle, but he pauses. If anyone touches you, he says quietly, deadly serious, I'll burn their world to ash. It's not a promise of affection. It's a threat to the universe itself. Then he's gone. I break protocol. When the guards change shifts, there's a window. 5 minutes where the hallway empties. I slip out, moving through corridors until I find Dante's private library. The door is unlocked. Inside, I find his desk. Papers everywhere. But nothing personal until I spot a locked drawer. Using a letter opener, I jimmy it open. Inside, a photograph. Dante, years younger, was actually smiling. His arm was around a beautiful, dark-haired woman. She's laughing, and the way he looks at her. My chest tightens. He looks at her like she's his entire world, but it's her face that makes my hands shake. The shape of her eyes, the curve of her jaw, she looks like me. Not identical, but close enough that it can't be a coincidence. Looking for something? I spin. The photograph slips from my fingers. Dante stands in the doorway, and the expression on his face is terrifying. Hollow, like something vital has been carved out. His eyes drop to the photograph on the floor. I'm sorry, I say quickly. I shouldn't have. No, you shouldn't have. He steps inside, carefully picking up the photograph. But you did, so now we're having a conversation I never wanted to have. He stares at the photo for a long moment before setting it on the desk. Her name was Elena, he says quietly. Elena Marchesi, daughter of a rival family. I was young, stupid, and thought love could transcend blood feuds and centuries of violence. What happened to her? What always happens? His voice is flat, but I hear the agony beneath. My enemies found out, used her as leverage, told me they'd let her go if I surrendered everything I'd built. I was ready to do it. He pauses, and I see the trauma etched into every line of his face. They killed her anyway, put a bullet in her head and left her body where I'd find it. A message. A reminder that men like me don't get to love without it becoming a weapon. Dante, I swore after that I'd never care again. Never let anyone close enough to be used against me. Spent years becoming the monster everyone expected. He takes a step closer. And then you walk through my door, he says, voice dropping to barely above a whisper. Desperate and fierce and willing to trade your life for your brother's. And I looked at you and saw... Her, I finish. That's why you agreed. I remind you of... At first, yes. The resemblance was unsettling. But it's not that anymore, Arya. His hand comes up, cupping my cheek. It stopped being about Elena the moment you challenged me in my study, the moment you refused to break, the moment you looked at me like I was more than a monster. My pulse races. Then what is it about? It's about the fact that I can't stop thinking about you, can't focus on anything else, can't sleep without wondering if you're safe, if you hate me, if you'll ever look at me like I'm something other than your jailer. His thumb brushes across my cheekbone. You're not my captive anymore, Arya. You're my second chance. And that terrifies me more than any enemy I've ever faced. Because you think I'll end up like her. Because caring about you makes me weak, he corrects. And weakness gets people killed in my world. If my enemies know what you mean to me, truly mean to me, they'll use you. They'll hurt you to hurt me, and I can't... His voice breaks. I can't lose someone like that again. The vulnerability in his words changes everything. So what do? I ask softly. His hand drops. Walls are starting to rebuild. We survive. I find the leak, eliminate the threat, keep you safe until this is over. And then you go free. You and your brother. Far from here, from me, from all of this. The words sound torn from him. It's the only way to keep you alive. What if I don't want that? The question hangs between us, dangerous and impossible. Dante looks at me like I've stabbed him. Then you're as foolish as I was, he says roughly, and twice as likely to end up dead because of it. He turns toward the door, but I understand now. The distance, the coldness, it's not rejection. It's protection. He's trying to save me from his world. From himself. From the fate that befell the last woman he loved, even if it's killing him to do it. The gunshot shatters the silence at 2:47 a.m. I jolt awake, disoriented. Another shot, closer, followed by shouting and shattering glass. The estate is under attack. I'm out of bed, adrenaline flooding my system. More gunshots, rapid fire, coming from everywhere. The security alarm starts wailing. My door is locked. I yank uselessly. Trapped. An explosion rocks the building. Windows rattle. Books tumble from shelves. Footsteps thunder in the hallway. Voices shouting in Italian. I can't tell whose side they're on. I run to the bathroom, barricading myself inside. Pathetically inadequate, but it's all I have. I shove my back against the wall, shaking so badly I can barely grip the tub edge. Marco, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. The gunfire intensifies. It sounds like a war zone. Something crashes against my bedroom door. Once, twice, wood splintering. I press my hand over my mouth to muffle a sob. More gunfire, shouting, clear, moving up, second floor secure. My bathroom door explodes inward. I scream, throwing my arms up. Arya, that voice. I know that voice. I lower my arms and see him. Dante. He's covered in blood, splattered across his face, soaking through his shirt, staining his hands. The gun in his hand is still smoking. He's killed his way through the estate to reach me. Our eyes lock and his mask shatters completely, revealing raw, undiluted terror. Are you hurt? His voice is hoarse, desperate, shaking. Arya, did anyone... No, I'm okay, He's suddenly there, pulling me into his arms with force that knocks the breath from my lungs. The gun clatters to the floor as both arms wrap around me, crushing me against his chest. He's shaking. This man who rules his empire with iron control is trembling. If I'd lost you? His voice breaks, face buried in my hair. If they'd gotten to you before He can't finish. I wrap my arms around him. I'm okay. I'm here. I'm okay. His forehead drops to mine. His hands cup my face, thumbs brushing across my cheekbones as if confirming I'm real. I couldn't breathe, he confesses, raw and broken. The second I heard they'd breached the perimeter, all I could think was, not again. Please God, not again. I'm here, I repeat. I'm right here. He kisses me, desperate and hungry and grateful. I kiss him back, pouring everything I can't say into it. Boss! Luca appears in the doorway, weapon drawn. He takes in the scene, expression complicated. Perimeter's secure, he reports. We took out most of them. 3 got away. Casualties on our side, 4 wounded, 1 critical. The Rossies? Dante's voice regains some steel, though his hands haven't left my face. Yeah, coordinated strike, probably 30 soldiers. They knew exactly where to hit. Inside information. Dante finishes coldly. He releases me, picking up his gun. Gather everyone in the main hall. Every single person with security access. 10 minutes. Boss, it's someone close. Has to be. Only the inner circle has that level. I know. His voice is arctic. Which is why when I find them, I'm going to make an example that ensures no one ever betrays me again. His eyes find mine again. The cracks are still visible beneath the armor. Luca, take 4 men and escort Arya to the safe room. No one gets near her. I want to stay with you, I say before I can stop myself. Both men look at me in surprise. Arya, it's not safe. It wasn't safe in my room either. I step toward him. Someone in your inner circle betrayed you. Tried to kill you. You need to know who you can trust. And right now, I'm the only person in this building who has absolutely nothing to gain from your death. Luca makes a sound that might be agreement. Dante studies me. If I bring you into that hall, you'll see things. Things I can't take back. Things that will change how you look at me. You mean I'll see who you really are? I hold his gaze. I already know, Dante. I've known from the beginning. And I'm still here. The words land like a physical blow. His jaw clenches. Then he nods. Stay behind me. Don't speak unless I tell you to. And if I say run, you run. Understood? Understood. He extends his hand. I take it. His fingers close around mine. Warm, solid, stained with blood but steady. The main hall is enormous. Dante's people are gathering. Maybe 40 of them. Faces grim, some sporting injuries. They notice me immediately. Confusion ripples through the crowd. Dante releases my hand and steps forward, commanding instant attention. 3 hours ago, the Rossi family attacked my home, he says, voice cutting like a blade. They came armed with detailed intelligence about our security systems, guard rotations, and structural vulnerabilities. Information that only people in this room would have. Tension ratchets up. People glance at each other, suspicion blooming. One of you sold me out, put every life under my protection at risk. His eyes sweep the crowd. Grown men flinch. So here's what's going to happen. Luca has already pulled security footage, communication logs, and financial records. We will find the traitor. And when we do, it was me. The voice comes from the left. Everyone turns. A middle-aged man steps forward, graying at the temples, expensive suit now torn and bloodied. I recognize him from meals, from Dante's side. Someone important, someone trusted. Enzo? Luca's voice is strangled. You've been with us for 15 years. I know what I am. Enzo interrupts. His face is resigned, peaceful. The Rossis have my daughter, Dante. Took her 3 weeks ago. Said they'd return her if I gave them what they wanted. Dante's expression doesn't change. So you sacrificed everyone else's families for yours. I had no choice. There's always a choice. Dante's voice drops to a terrifying level. You chose wrong. He pulls his gun. I should look away, should close my eyes. But I don't, because I need to see this. Could you explain precisely who Dante Moretti is? The gunshot is deafening. Enzo crumples, dead before he hits the ground. Dante holsters his weapon, turns back to the crowd like he's done nothing remarkable. Clean this up, double all security, and find Enzo's daughter. If she's still alive, bring her home safely. She's not responsible for her father's weakness. The crowd disperses immediately. Dante finally turns to me and I see the question in his eyes. Are you afraid now? Will you run? I close the distance and take his hand, the one that just pulled the trigger. Your world is crumbling, I say quietly. Let me be something solid. His fingers tighten around mine, and in his eyes I see everything he can't say. Come on, he says, let's get you cleaned up. I follow him, hand in his, stepping over the body of a traitor and into a world I'm choosing despite every reason to run. The safe room is concrete walls, a single bed and basic supplies, hidden behind a false wall in the wine cellar. When the final door closes, the silence is absolute. Dante locks it and leans against the door, eyes closed, shoulders sagging with exhaustion. Without the need to command and control, he looks human. Tired. Sit, he says quietly. I obey. My legs are shaking, delayed shock. He pulls out a first aid kit and kneels in front of me. Let me see your head. My head? He reaches up, fingers ghosting across my forehead, and I wince. When he shows me his fingertips, they're red with blood. Must have hit it when part of the door frame exploded. His voice is tight, controlled. You shouldn't have been anywhere near that. You didn't know they'd attack. I should have. He opens the kit with more force than necessary. I should have anticipated, should have moved you the second I knew there was a leak. Dante, this isn't your fault. His jaw clenches. Everything that happens in my world is my fault. He begins cleaning the wound. His touch is surprisingly tender. This man who just executed a traitor without hesitation, now carefully dabbing blood from my skin like I'm made of glass. I watch him work, studying the concentration on his face. Up close, I see new injuries, a cut along his jaw, bruising on his knuckles, scratches on his neck. Evidence of fighting through hell to get to me. Why did you agree? I ask quietly. His hand pauses. Agree to what? That first day, when I came begging you to save Marco, you could have turned me away. But you agreed. Why? He resumes cleaning, silent for a long moment, because I saw myself in you. That desperation, the willingness to sacrifice everything for family. I understood what you were offering, what it would cost you. He reaches for a butterfly bandage and applies it carefully. And because you reminded me that once, a long time ago, I was someone who believed love mattered more than power. Elena. Yes. He sits back, meeting my eyes. I thought if I could save your brother, keep you safe, maybe it would balance the scales somehow. Make up for failing her. You didn't fail her. Her death wasn't your fault. Wasn't it? His laugh is bitter. I knew the risks, knew what my enemies would do, but I loved her anyway, selfishly, and it got her killed. I reach out, cupping his face with both hands. Love isn't selfish, Dante. It's the bravest thing we do. And what happened to Elena, that's on the people who killed her, not on you for daring to care. His eyes search mine, the need to believe me fighting against years of guilt. Do you regret it? I ask. Agreeing to help me? Everything that's happened since? He's been silent for so long, I think he won't answer. Then his hands come up to cover mine. My only regret is that I won't be able to let you go. It's not a threat, not ownership. It's a confession. An admission that I've become essential to him. Then don't, I whisper. His eyes widen. Aria, don't let me go. Please don't push me away. Don't try to protect me by keeping me at arm's length. I lean forward. I'm choosing this, Dante. I'm choosing you. Scars and violence and impossible complications included. You don't know what you're saying. I watched you kill a man tonight. Watched you execute someone without hesitation. I saw exactly who you are. What you're capable of. My thumbs brush across his cheekbones. And I'm still here. Still choosing you. Something breaks in him. He surges forward, capturing my mouth with his. And this kiss is different from the others. Not desperate or angry. Slow, deliberate, tender. A claim that feels more like a surrender. I kiss him back with everything I have, pouring 7 days of fear and confusion and unexpected feelings into it. My hands slide into his hair, and his arms wrap around my waist. When we finally break apart, breathless, he rests his forehead against mine. I can't promise you safety, he says quietly. Can't promise this will end well or that my enemies won't always be a threat. Can't even promise I won't fuck this up spectacularly. I'm not asking for promises. I'm just asking for honesty, for you to stop hiding behind walls. You might not like what you see. I already see it, Dante, and I'm not going anywhere. He kisses me again, softer this time, almost reverent. We clean up properly. He finds clothes for me, tends to the gash along his ribs I hadn't noticed. When I finish patching him up, we lie down together on the narrow bed. He pulls me against his chest, arms wrapped around me as if I might disappear. Thank you, he says into my hair. For what? For not running. For seeing the worst of me and staying anyway. His arms tighten. For being something solid when everything else is falling apart. I press a kiss to his chest, right over his heart. Always. And in the quiet aftermath of violence, I finally feel like I'm home. We have 4 hours of peace. Then the phone vibrates. Harsh intrusion. Dante wakes instantly, reaching for it. Checks the screen. His entire body goes rigid. What is it? I sit up. He doesn't answer, puts it to his ear. Talk. I can't hear the voice, but I watch his expression transform from sleep softness to carved granite. When? A pause. How long do we have? Another pause. Understood. He ends the call and sits motionless. Dante, what happened? He turns to me, and the look in his eyes makes my blood run cold. The Rossies have your brother. The world tilts. I can't breathe. What? How? Marco was in your safe house. He was. They hit the location an hour ago, killed 4 of my men and took him. His voice is flat, emotionless. They sent a message. They want a trade. I already know. What trade? You for him. Tomorrow night. Neutral territory, though we both know it's a trap. He stands, pacing. If we don't show, they kill him. If we show and don't deliver you, they kill him. Then we give them what they want. Absolutely not. It's not your decision. The hell it isn't. He grips my shoulders. Arya, this is a trap. The second we walk into that exchange, they'll kill you both. They don't want a trade. They want leverage over me, and the best way is to make me watch you die. So what's your plan? Let Marco die? My plan is to extract him before the exchange. We have 24 hours. Luca's already tracking their location. And if you can't find him in time? I pull away. If your 24 hours run out and Marco's still captive, what then? He doesn't answer. That silence tells me everything. You'd let him die to keep me safe, I say. You'd break your word because you can't stand the idea of losing me. Yes. No hesitation. I would choose you, every single time. The confession should be romantic. Instead, it tears something open inside me. That's not your choice to make, Dante. This is my brother, my family, my decision. I move toward him. I came to you 7 days ago and offered my life for his. That deal doesn't change just because I gesture between us. Whatever this is doesn't erase the fact that Marco is in danger because of me. He's in danger because of the Rossies, who only know he exists because they found out about me. My voice cracks. Don't you see? He's collateral damage in your war, and the only reason they took him is to get to you through me. So yes, Dante, this is my choice, my consequence, my responsibility. A knock interrupts us. Dante's hand moves to his gun. Who is it? Luca. Dante opens the door. His second-in-command enters, tablet in hand, expression grim. We've located their primary operations center, old warehouse district near the docks. Heavily fortified, maybe 30 soldiers, rotations every 6 hours. He pulls up schematics. We could hit them, but casualties would be significant. They're expecting retaliation. Then we need a different approach, Dante says. There might be one. Luca hesitates. If we give them what they think they want, if we make them believe we're complying, we could use it as cover. Get our people in position while they're focused on the trade. But it would require bait, I finish. It would require me to actually walk into that exchange. Both men look at me. No, Dante says flatly. It's the best option, Luca argues. Maybe the only option that doesn't end with massive casualties. We stage the exchange. Arya goes in wired and tracked. Snipers are positioned, and the extraction team is ready. The second they produce the brother, we move. And if something goes wrong? Dante's voice could cut glass. If they search her and find the wire? If they decide to kill her on sight? Then we adapt. But boss, a frontal assault will get good men killed and might not even succeed. This way, we control the narrative. The narrative that includes using Arya as bait. The narrative that might actually save her brother and end this. Luca meets his gaze steadily. It's your call, but we're running out of time. Dante's hands clench and unclench. I can see the war raging behind his eyes. I'll do it, I say quietly. No, Dante, listen to me. I place my hands on his chest, feeling his heart racing. You said, my life for his. That was the deal. Those were your exact words. I'm keeping my word. The situation's changed? Nothing's changed. Marco is still in danger. I can still save him. And you have the resources to make sure we both get out alive. I hold his gaze. I trust you. I'm choosing to trust you with both our lives. Don't take that choice away from me. His jaw works, emotions flickering too fast to name. If anything happens to you, if I lose you because I agreed to this, you won't. I press up on my toes, kissing him softly. Because you're Dante Moretti. You're the most dangerous man in this city, and you don't lose. Especially not when it's something you care about. He pulls me against him, arms wrapping so tightly I can barely breathe. His face buries in my hair, and I feel him shaking. I can't, he whispers. I can't watch you walk into danger. Can't stand on the sidelines while you risk your life. You're not on the sidelines. You're my backup, my safety net, my way out. I pull back to look at him. And I need you to be that. Not the man who locks me away, but the partner who trusts me to do what needs to be done. Luca clears his throat. I'll give you two some time, but Dante, we need a decision within the hour. He leaves. Dante and I stand in the middle of the safe room, holding each other, both knowing what's coming. I hate this, he finally says. Hate every part of it. I know. If you die, I won't. But if you do, he continues, pulling back to look at me. If this goes wrong and I lose you, I want you to know. He stops, jaw clenching. I love you, Arya. I've been fighting it, denying it, but I love you. And that's why this is killing me. Tears blur my vision. I love you too. Which is why I need you to let me do this. Let me save my brother. Let me be brave enough to match you. He cups my face, thumbs brushing away tears. You're already the bravest person I know. Then prove you believe that. Trust me, let me do this. The silence stretches for an eternity. I see the moment he makes the decision. See him surrender to the inevitable. Okay, he says, the word costing him everything. Okay, we'll do it your way, but Arya... His eyes bore into mine with fierce intensity. You follow every instruction my team gives you. You don't deviate from the plan, and at the first sign of trouble you run. You hear me? You run. I promise. He kisses me then, hard and desperate, like he's trying to memorize me. When we break apart, he rests his forehead against mine. I'm not fighting enemies anymore. I'm fighting fate. No, I say firmly. You're fighting for something. For us. For the chance to have a future beyond this war. And that's a fight we can win. I wish I believed my own words. The night before the exchange, sleep is impossible. I've spent 18 hours being briefed, fitted with equipment, and memorizing protocols until my head throbs. Luca walked me through every scenario, every contingency, his voice calm even as he described the dozen ways this could go catastrophically wrong. Dante has been a ghost, present in meetings but distant, his face an impenetrable mask, never looking directly at me. Now it's past midnight, and I'm alone on the balcony. The city sprawls below, a galaxy of lights. Somewhere out there, Marco is being held, terrified, wondering if I'll come. I'm coming, little brother. Could you hold on? The balcony door opens. I don't turn around. I already know. You should be resting, Dante says, voice rough. Tomorrow will be... I know what tomorrow will be. I grip the railing harder. That's why I can't sleep. Footsteps. Then he's beside me, close enough that I feel his warmth, but not quite touching. You don't have to do this, he finally says, the words sounding torn from him. Even now, we could find another way. Dante, we've been over this. I know. He turns to face me, and I finally look at him. In the moonlight, he's devastating. I know all the logical reasons. Know it's the best tactical approach. Know you're right about owing your brother this. But logic doesn't change the fact that I'm sending the woman I love into a kill zone. The raw honesty breaks something in my chest. I'm terrified, I confess. Tears blur my vision. I'm absolutely terrified. Not even of dying, really, but of, my voice cracks, of never getting to know what we could have been, of this ending before it really begins, of you spending the rest of your life blaming yourself if something goes wrong. Arya, we've had a week, Dante. 7 days of captivity and chaos and falling for each other in the worst possible circumstances. And now I have to walk away, maybe forever, and a sob catches in my throat. I want more time. I want mornings and arguments and lazy Sundays. I want everything we'll never get to have. Something breaks in him. Suddenly, he's moving, pulling me into his arms with desperate urgency. Don't, he says fiercely, hands framing my face. Don't talk like this is goodbye. Don't you dare give up before we've even fought. I'm not giving up, He kisses me, cutting off my words. And it's different from every other kiss. This is claiming and surrender, fear and hope, everything we can't say, poured into the connection. I kiss him back with equal intensity, my hands fisting in his shirt, pulling him closer. When we break apart, breathless, his forehead rests against mine. I can't lose you, he whispers. I survived losing Elena because I still had rage, still had the empire to build. But if I lose you, Arya, if tomorrow goes wrong, there won't be anything left of me worth saving. Then don't lose me. I pull back to meet his eyes. Fight for me. Pull me out of that hell. And then we'll have all the time in the world. His jaw clenches. I love you, he says, raw and honest and irrevocable. I swore I'd never say that to anyone again. But you walked into my life and shattered every wall I'd built. You're not collateral, Arya. You're not a prisoner or an asset. Then what am I? Everything. He kisses me again, softer, reverent. You're everything. He lifts me into his arms, carrying me inside. He kicks the balcony door closed and carries me to the bed, laying me down with gentleness that contradicts the hunger in his eyes. I need you, he says, voice rough. Need to feel you, remember you, have this in case. I pull him down, silencing his fears with my mouth. Then have me, all of me, no holding back. He strips away my clothes with shaking hands, and I do the same for him, until we're skin to skin, heart to heart. Nothing between us but honesty and need. When he enters me, it's slow and deliberate, his eyes locked on mine, watching every expression. This isn't just physical, it's a claiming, a promise, a commitment more profound than words. We move together, urgent and desperate, pouring 7 days of fear and fighting and falling into this connection. His hands map every inch of my skin. My nails dig into his shoulders, holding him to me. Mine, he growls against my throat. You're mine, Arya. No matter what happens tomorrow, you're mine. Yours, I gasp. And you're mine, the king and the monster and the man underneath. He captures my mouth, swallowing my moans, and I feel the tension coiling tighter. When I finally shatter, he's right there with me, my name on his lips like a prayer. We collapse together, tangled in sheets in each other. He rolls to his side, pulling me against his chest. I will get you out, he says into my hair, arms tightening. I will pull you and your brother out of that warehouse, and then we're leaving this city. Going somewhere my enemies can't reach. Dante, I mean it. He pulls back to look at me, fierce determination in his eyes. I love you, and I will raze this city to the ground before I lose you. I'll burn every bridge, destroy every alliance, sacrifice everything I've built if that's what it takes. I believe him. Because Dante Moretti doesn't make empty promises. I love you too, I whisper. which is why we're going to do this right. Extract Marco, eliminate the threat, and build something better. Together, he echoes, the word sounding like a vow. We make love again, slower this time, savoring every touch, every kiss, every whispered promise, memorizing each other. When exhaustion finally claims us, we fall asleep tangled together, and I dream of a future where we're not running, not fighting. I dream of peace, of home, of Dante smiling in sunlight instead of shadows. And when I wake hours later to gray dawn light, I hold on to that dream like a lifeline. Because in 6 hours, I'm walking into enemy territory with nothing but a wire, a tracker, and faith in the man still sleeping beside me. I press a kiss to his chest, right over his heart, and whisper, "Don't let me down, Dante Moretti. I'm trusting you with everything." His arms tighten in sleep, as if even unconscious, he's trying to keep me safe. I close my eyes and pray it's enough. That love is enough, that we can cheat fate one more time. The warehouse looms like a mausoleum. Rusted metal, broken windows, surrounded by derelict buildings. The perfect place for an exchange. The perfect place to die. I step out of the SUV, hands raised, heart hammering so hard I'm surprised it doesn't shatter my ribs. The wire taped between my breasts feels like it's burning. The tracker in my shoe might as well be screaming. Trust the plan. Trust Dante. In my earpiece, Luca's voice. We've got eyes on you. Snipers in position. Extraction team ready. You're not alone, Arya. But I feel alone as I walk across cracked pavement toward the warehouse's gaping entrance. 2 men emerge. Rossi soldiers, weapons drawn, eyes cold. They pat me down with rough efficiency. My breath stops when their hands pass over the wire. But they're looking for weapons, not surveillance tech. They miss it. Miss the tracker, too. Inside, one grunts, shoving me forward. The warehouse interior is vast and empty, metal beams crisscrossing overhead like bones of some dead beast. Shipping containers line the walls, and in the center, illuminated by dusty sunlight from a broken skylight, stands Carlo Rossi. He's younger than I expected, maybe 40, handsome in a cruel way, slicked back hair, expensive suit. And beside him, bound and kneeling, is Marco. Marco! The name tears from my throat. My brother looks up, and my heart breaks. He's been beaten, one eye swollen shut, lips split, bruises mottling his face. But he's alive. Arya, no, he croaks. You shouldn't have. Shut up, Rossi says casually, pressing his gun to Marco's temple. My brother goes silent. Rossi turns to me, smiling all teeth. Arya Castellano, Moretti's little pet. Do you know how much trouble you've caused? I didn't cause anything. Your war with Dante has nothing to do with me. Oh, but it does. He circles Marco like a shark. You see, Dante Moretti is untouchable. Can't be bought, can't be threatened, doesn't have weaknesses, until you. The moment we learned he was keeping a woman, protecting her, losing sleep over her, that changed everything. So you attacked his home, killed his men. For what? To prove he's human. Rossi stops in front of me. And humans bleed. Now, here's what's going to happen. You're going to come with me. Your brother goes free. I'm a man of my word. And Dante is going to spend the rest of his very short life knowing he lost you because he was weak enough to care. And if I refuse? Then I kill your brother. Kill you. And mail pieces of both of you to Moretti as a message. His smile widens. Your choice. In my ear, Luca. Dante says hold position. 3 more seconds. I force myself to breathe, to stall. How do I know you'll really let Marco go? You don't. That's what makes this fun. 2 seconds. Marco's eyes meet mine. I see the apology there, the desperate hope. I'm sorry, he mouths. I love you, I mouth back. 1 second, get down, now! I drop, striking concrete as the world explodes. Glass shatters from every direction. Rossi's men don't even have time to raise weapons before 3 drop, taken out by Dante's snipers. The warehouse erupts. Gunfire, shouting, soldiers pouring in from entrances I didn't know existed. I crawl toward Marco, keeping low as bullets whine overhead. Someone grabs my shoulder and I scream, but it's one of Dante's men. pulling us both toward cover behind a shipping container. "Stay down," he shouts. But I can't look away from the violence. Dante's team moves with military precision. It's over in less than a minute. Rossi's soldiers are outgunned, outmaneuvered. And then I see him. Dante. He moves through the warehouse like death incarnate. Black clothes, black rage, unstoppable. He doesn't hesitate, doesn't slow, cuts through anyone between him and us. I watch him put 2 bullets in a soldier's chest, pivot to disarm another. Movements fluid and brutal and terrifyingly beautiful. Carlo Rossi sees him too, sees his empire crumbling. He swings his gun toward Marco. One last act of spite. "No!" I lunge forward, throwing myself over my brother. The gunshot is deafening, but the pain never comes. I look up to see Rossi stumbling backward, red bloom spreading across his chest. He hits the ground hard, and Dante is suddenly there, standing over him, gun still raised. "You threatened what's mine," Dante says, voice flat and cold. "That was your last mistake." He fires again, and again, until the chamber clicks empty and Carlo Rossi is nothing but a corpse. The warehouse falls silent except for ringing in my ears. Dante's men are clearing the space. Luca is barking orders. And Dante is standing frozen, staring at me and Marco huddled together, his expression devastated. "Are you hurt?" His voice cracks. "Aria, are you—" "We're okay," I manage, helping Marco to his feet. "We're both okay." The distance disappears. Dante crosses it in 3 strides and pulls me into his arms with such force it drives the air from my lungs. His whole body is shaking. I thought... He can't finish. Just holds me tighter, face buried in my hair. "I thought I'd lost you." "You didn't." I hold him just as tightly, feeling his heart racing. "You pulled me out, just like you promised." He pulls back to check me over, hands running across my face, my arms, confirming I'm whole. When he's satisfied, he cups my face and kisses me, hard and desperate and relieved. "Let's go home," he says. Marco is safely installed in one of Dante's secure properties, a penthouse with round-the-clock protection and medical staff. He's recovering well, though the trauma will take longer to heal than the bruises. I visit him before returning to the estate, and he grabs my hand with surprising strength. "Thank you," he says, tears in his eyes. "I'm so sorry, Aria, for all of it, for being stupid enough to get involved with those people, for putting you in danger." "Stop." I squeeze his hand. "You're my brother. I'd do it again in a heartbeat." "He really loves you, doesn't he, Moretti?" I think of Dante planning the extraction, refusing to sleep until every detail was perfect. The way he looked at me like I was his entire world. "Yeah," I say softly, "he really does." "Then I guess he's not as bad as everyone says." Marco manages a weak smile. "Anyone who'd burn the city down for you can't be all monster." I kiss his forehead. "Rest, heal. And Marco? No more gambling with cartels. Never again, I swear. The estate is quiet when I return, the damage mostly repaired. Guards still patrol, cameras still swivel, but there's something different in the air. Less tension. I find Dante in his study, the place where this all began. He's standing at the window looking out at his kingdom, and I'm struck by how familiar this scene has become. "Your brother's settled?" he asks without turning. "Yes, he's safe, thanks to you." "Thanks to us." He finally looks at me, and the expression on his face makes my breath catch. It's open, vulnerable, everything he usually hides. "You were courageous, reckless and terrifying, but brave." I learned from the best. A smile tugs at his lips, rare and genuine. "Come here." I cross the study, and he pulls me into his arms, holding me like he's still convincing himself I'm real. "So," I say after a moment, "I'm guessing this means the deal is complete? My brother's safe, the threat's eliminated. I'm free to go." I feel him tense. "Is that what you want?" I pull back to look at him. "What do you want, Dante?" He's silent for a long moment, emotions warring across his face. Then he cups my cheek, thumb brushing across my cheekbone with infinite tenderness. "You were never a prisoner, Aria. he says quietly. From the moment you walked through that door, you were so much more. You were the light in my darkness, the conscience I'd forgotten I had, the future I didn't think I deserved. His eyes search mine. You were always the queen. I just needed you to see it too. My throat tightens. And if I choose to stay, not as collateral or a captive, but as mine, he finishes. As my partner, my equal, my queen in every way that matters. That's a dangerous position. Everything about me is dangerous. His smile is crooked, self-aware. But I promise you this. I will protect you, cherish you, fight for you every day of my life. And I will never, ever take you for granted. I pretend to consider, even though my heart made this choice days ago. I have conditions. Name them. Margot stays protected, always. Done. No more locked doors, no more cages, gilded or otherwise. You'll have access to everything. Keys to the kingdom, literally. And you have to take me on an actual date. Somewhere that doesn't involve bloodshed or negotiations. He laughs, a real laugh, warm and surprised. I think I can manage that. Then yes, I say, stepping into his arms, choosing him, choosing this dangerous, impossible life. Yes to all of it. To you, to us, to whatever comes next. He kisses me then, and it tastes like promise and hope and the beginning of something neither of us expected but both of us need. I love you, he murmurs against my lips. I love you too. We stand there in his study, wrapped in each other. And for the first time since I walked through his door, I feel like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Not a prisoner, not a captive, but a queen choosing her king. And we're choosing each other. Scars, violence, impossible complications, and all. Final scene. Far from the estate, on a rooftop overlooking the city, a figure lowers their binoculars. They've watched the extraction, watched Dante's victory, watched two people fall in love in the midst of war. And they smile, cold and calculating. Enjoy your peace while it lasts, Moretti, they murmur into the wind, because the real game is just beginning. They disappear into the shadows, leaving only a calling card tucked under a brick, a single playing card. The Queen of Hearts was pierced through with a knife. The war isn't over, but this time Dante and Arya will face it together, and heaven help anyone who tries to tear them apart.